Thor and Loki. The Norse mythology begins with the beginning of the cosmos. Before that, there was nothing, no earth, no stars, no heavens, only mist and fire. And between them, huge glaciers. And when the glaciers reached the land of fire, it began to melt. And in the melting water emerged life, worlds and tales. Tales about gods, goddesses, and the world of Asgard, where lived the gods, called the Aesir. And although there are many gods, there is no one like Odin, the highest and the oldest of all the gods. His son Thor was the god of thunder. Built strong and huge, he was the strongest of all gods. He was also good-natured and kind, unlike a lot of other gods. Most definitely unlike Loki, the god of mischief, the father of monsters, the author of woes, and the troublemaker.
Ah, the beautiful Sif. Thor loves your hair, doesn't he? I wonder what will happen when he finds out.
No!
My wife! What is it? Huh? Oh no!
I woke up and I don't know how.
He will pay.
Who? But Thor was already on his way.
Loki! Why did you do it? What are you talking about? My wife's hair. Her beautiful golden hair. I didn't. Enough! Put her hair back! That's impossible. But she can wear a hat. She will not! You listen to me carefully, son of Loki. If Sif doesn't have her hair back by sunset tomorrow, then you have my word. I will break all the bones in your body.
And with that ultimatum, Thor stormed out, leaving Loki terrified.
I think I went too far this time. This is the end of me, for no one can... Wait, I got it!
An idea struck the ever-mischievous mind of Loki.
Dwarves! Yes, only they can help me now.
And the troublemaker went to the land of the dwarfs, who were the best craftsmen in the whole wide world. First, he went to the underground forge of 3 dwarfs known as the Sons of Ivaldi.
Hello, Sons of Ivaldi. I hear you are excellent craftsmen, but the word around lately is that Brock and Eitri are the greatest dwarf craftsmen to date.
Lies! Whatever they make, we can make better.
Is that so? Well, I guess it is time you prove it. 3 treasures. Make 3 bewildering treasures. The gods of Aesir will judge who is the best. By the way, one of them needs to be hair. Ever-growing, perfect golden hair.
Duck soup.
Excuse me?
Piece of cake.
They mean it's easy. We can get it done. Well, all right. All the best.
Now, if you think that Loki was done, then you are yet to learn more about the Mischief Maker. For he didn't return to Asgard, but went across the mountain to see a dwarf called Brook, who worked with his brother, Eitri, at a workshop.
Loki, what are you doing here?
Ivaldi's sons are making 3 treasures for the gods of Asgard. and they are challenging you and your brother, Eitri.
But Brooke and Eitri were no fools. They sensed that Loki was up to something.
Loki, your reputation precedes you. I am sure this is your doing, and something personal is at stake here.
Allegations! I bring you news and you accuse me? Fine, I will leave.
Wait, fine, we will participate. But let's make this personal, eh, Loki?
And so Brock proposed that if they win the competition, they will get Loki's head, that thinking machine of his, with which they will build a wonderful device. Loki smiled, but he wasn't smiling on the inside.
Deal. See you tomorrow in Asgard.
Loki left, but not really, for he was anxious now. And why not? His head was at stake all of a sudden. He returned in form of a fly as Brock and Eitri got to work.
You work the bellows, Brock. I need it hot, very, very hot. Don't stop, no matter what, else the treasures will be ruined.
Understood.
Eitri began to work a block of gold, and Brock pumped. Meanwhile, Loki, the fly, stung Brock's hand, but he hardly even flinched. He did it again, but Brock continued working the bellows. Finding himself at the edge of his patience, Loki stung him on the neck.
Ah!
His hand left the bellows.
No! My head is safe after all.
Delighted, Loki went back to Asgard. Now all he had to do was to wait for the next day. The next day, 3 gods, Odin, Thor, and the god of summer's harvest, Frey, sat on their thrones. They were to judge the treasures. Loki looked at Brock, who stood with his head hung low, and smiled. The sons of Ivaldi went first. First, they presented Odin with a spear called Gungnir. That can penetrate anything and never miss its mark. Odin was delighted, for he had, after all, but one eye, and his aim wasn't always perfect. Then they presented the flowing golden hair made of real gold to Thor, and Sif was more than ecstatic to get it. The cascading tresses fit her so perfectly that she looked better than before. Thor was pleased. Loki was delighted.
And finally, this is for you.
Frey looked at the small folded cloth, unamused.
A silk scarf?
Yes, but when you unfold it, you will discover it is a ship called Skiblanir. It will always have a fair wind wherever it goes, and although it is the biggest ship in the whole world, you can always fold it up like a cloth and put it in your pocket.
Frey was impressed.
Wow, amazing.
Loki was relieved. He knew that Brock could not top the gifts from the sons of Ivaldi. Then came Brock's turn. He presented a golden arm ring to Odin, which every 9th night would produce 8 golden arm rings of equal beauty. Then he looked towards Frey and unveiled a huge boar with bristles made of gold.
This is a boar my brother made for you to pull your chariot. It will race across the sky faster than the fastest horse, and its golden bristles will light up your path even in the darkest of nights.
Frey looked impressed, but Loki knew that the folded ship was clearly the winner, until Brock produced a hammer from beneath a cloth and presented it to Thor.
The handle is rather short.
Yes, it is my fault. I was working the bellows and got distracted by a fly. But before you dismiss it, let me tell you what makes the hammer unique.
I am listening.
It is called Mjolnir, the lightning maker. It is unbreakable. Doesn't matter how hard you hit something with it. It will always remain undamaged.
This caught Thor's interest. He had broken many weapons over the years by hitting things with them.
The hammer will never miss what you throw it at. And here, its uniqueness. No matter how hard or how far you throw it away, it will always come back to your hand.
The mighty Thor was mighty impressed, so much that he stood up and clapped his hands. Thunder echoed across Asgard. Loki gulped a lump in his throat.
To me, this is the finest gift of all. It will keep Asgard protected from the frost giants. Indeed, Father. And not just the frost giants, but even the worst of our enemies. I agree. This is the finest gift of all.
But... Okie Loki. Now, as per your word, I get your head. Eitri will be so pleased.
Loki thought for a moment and then said,
You can have it, only if you catch me first.
Come back, you cheater!
What's happening?
Brock narrated everything to Odin and then turned towards Thor.
Oh, God of Thunder, can you not catch him?
I really shouldn't. He is like family, you know. But then, I really want to use this hammer.
It didn't take much time for Thor to bring back Loki, who was glaring with fury.
You made a deal. You must honor it. Yes, right. I apologize. Apology accepted. Brock, you may...
But...
What? As per the deal, Brock may have my head, but he can't touch my neck because the agreement promised my head and only the head. He is right. You have no right to touch his neck.
But it is impossible to.
Loki looked pleased, and Brock was annoyed.
Well, in that case, I suggest...
Brock whispered a suggestion to Odin.
I like it. It's fair also. Do it.
Do what? I have sealed your lips. Now that head of yours can keep thinking all they want, but you won't be able to speak. Not for a few days. And that's how I have your head.
Saying so, Brock left happily, and Loki whimpered helplessly because, for Loki, the pain of not being able to talk was more than any other pain in the world.
Loki, I only wanted Sif's hair back, but you helped me get this fine weapon. Thank you.
So, you see, all the gods got their greatest treasures because of Loki's fault. Even Thor's hammer was his fault. Can you believe that? But it is what it is. And that's how Loki was, mischievous and cunning, but a little too overconfident. And overconfidence always drowns us in the sea of reality.